Welcome to Session 13, Ethics and Moral Issues in Information Science. Introduction. Ethics are a kind of code of conduct and guide of any profession. Thus, in information science, ethical practices could be defined as the moral standards that guide behaviors and actions of researchers and professionals in the discipline. In this study session, you will be learned ethics in information science research and ethics in the teaching of information science. Learning outcomes. At the end of this study session, you should be able to 1. Explain the ethics in information science research. 2. Discuss the ethics in teaching of information science. Ethics in information science research. There are 3 main forms of ethics in information science research, which are listed in the diagram below. Cheating in research, giving credits to co-workers, areas of research that should not be attempted. Cheating in research. In the field of information science, cheating is much less likely to occur than, say, in biological and physical sciences. For one thing, information science may not be as afflicted by the publish or perish syndrome or the related be cited or perish syndrome, as some of the core sciences have been. This is partly because there are simply fewer academics and researchers in information science, but also because the discipline has a much narrower research base than the physical sciences. Thus, publications based on research findings are relatively few. 2. Giving credits to co-workers. A related problem to cheating in information science research is the problem of publications resulting from a piece of work involving senior and junior authors. There are 2 ethical questions here. First, should a worthwhile piece of completed research be published by the student or the supervisor? It is argued that a student has the first option to publish his research study and he is not obligated to enlist the supervisor as co-author, but he must at least acknowledge his contribution. However, if the student does not wish to publish, then after some time, the supervisor has the right to publish the work, but he must inform the student and enlist him as a co-author of the published article. 3. Areas of research that should not be attempted. It has been argued strongly that there are certain areas of endeavor that information science research should not dwell into because of their possible implications. In particular is the concern that the result of research in information science should not be transferred into such area as propaganda, advertising, and education in which information is sender-oriented rather than user-oriented. One other point that should be made about research in information science is that a number of studies involve observing information transfer processes in action or involve questionnaires. In the former case, the researchers should inform whoever he is observing that he is carrying out observations on that person's behavior. In the second case, results from the questionnaires should be published only in such a way that response cannot be identified with particular individuals. Ethics in teaching of information science. A lecturer in any subject is in a unique position to influence his or her students by presenting the information in a biased manner. It must also be said that lectures would not be dull indeed if the lecturer did not inject some personal asides and commentaries on other people's work. The above remarks apply to all subjects, of course. Furthermore, because information science is so wide-ranging, a teacher has a responsibility to present as total a picture as possible, since withholding information is a form of bias. Ethics in information work. The following below are considered as characteristics of ethics in information work: use of work facilities, confidentiality of information, bias to information presented, problems of information brokers. Use of work facilities. Industry suffers considerable losses each year through theft by its employees. In the field of information work, the possibilities for theft are legion. An information scientist could make use of the information retrieval facilities within his organization to answer queries wanted for personal reasons or for paid freelance work. Any code of ethics should condemn unauthorized use of work facilities. Confidentiality of information. The inquiries about an organization should always be regarded as confidential by the organization's information officer. That is, it should not be passed on to any third party without the original requestor's permission. Equally, an information officer should not be prepared to answer any request for confidential information which originates from outside the company without the permission from someone in authority. Bias to information presented. An information scientist may be asked to find information for the sole purpose of knocking a rival firm or one of its products. What if in the course of his search he finds the product isn't that bad, or indeed his company's product is clearly inferior? Information scientists should never be asked to employ their expertise to present biased results, and they should always strive to present a balanced picture, irrespective of how uncomfortable such a picture may be for his employers. Problems of information brokers. Consider a case where an information broker is approached independently by two clients for the same information. Two problems arise here. First, should both clients be charged the full price, or should the second client get the report at a reduced price, or should both get the information at reduced price? In both the latter cases, each client might be told that someone else has asked for that piece of information. Secondly, some clients insert exclusion clauses whereby information supplied by the broker may not be passed on to third parties. Such exclusion clauses could damage the broker's business in that he may have to turn away a potential long-time client. Information as power. There can be no question that some individuals have access to a greater amount of information than others. This applies particularly to large corporations, which, by virtue of their ability to spend money on information, are better placed than smaller corporations or individuals. Furthermore, some people are better able to process and assimilate information than others. Print on paper is widely available in libraries, easy to reproduce, and a government, even the most repressive, would find it difficult to keep track of who is reading what. Equally, it would find it difficult to control the spread of such documents. Does any information scientist have responsibilities to society? In the course of his duties, an information scientist may be asked to carry out a search on, say, the safety of a particular effluent from one of his company's factories. He may find that his effluent has many dangers or that the amounts being discharged exceed legal limits. Has the information scientist has any duty to society in such cases? Of course he has, and indeed should feel obliged to make the results known, by anonymous means if need be, to the public. An information scientist has a duty to draw attention of his company or employers to possible consequences of their actions. Honesty and integrity demand that views should be made known and that there should be a mechanism which would allow an information scientist to make his fears known, both within the company and within the profession. They need to realize that the consequences of actions taken by their organizations can and often do have far-reaching effects on society at large, and it is their duty to be aware of such consequences. Summary. There are three main forms of ethics in information science research, which are cheating in research, giving credits to co-workers, areas of research that should not be attempted. Use of work facilities. Industry suffers considerable losses each year through theft by its employees. In the field of information work, the possibilities for theft are legion. There can be no question that some individuals have access to a greater amount of information than others. An information scientist has a duty to draw attention of his company or employers to possible consequences of their actions. End of study session 13. Thanks for listening.